The holiday season is full of tradition. A lot of people have fond memories of this time of the year from decades past.
Yeah, but are those memories really as good as you remember? Neil Jones is the ghost of Christmas past in tonight's Top 5.
The good old days are a lot better than today.
That's what we always hear.
And that's what I think. Can you help me attach this to my email?
You're an idiot.
Well, here are the top 5 reasons the good old days weren't all that good. Number 5, the lack of air conditioning.
If you think Kansas City summers are hot now, can you imagine them without air conditioning? Today, if your air conditioner goes out, you're more likely to go stay with relatives.
Or even rent a hotel room rather than suffer in a hot house. Number 4, sexism.
Does the sight of another stack of dirty dishes make you want to?
Not that long ago, women were all but excluded from most jobs.
Well, if they don't get married, well, they can become dressmakers or a lot of other dumb stuff.
It took an act of Congress, but in the 1970s, my mom was part of the wave of women who made the transition from being a secretary to having a secretary.
And I've worked for multiple female news directors, and trust me, I've got no problem taking orders from women.
I'm so glad to hear that. Now go upstairs and work on tomorrow's story.
Number 3, access. Thanks to Google and our smartphones, we've got access to information that would have taken days to accumulate back in the good old days.
The number 1 most Googled subject in the world?
Soccer.
And the number 1 Googled subject in the United States?
That would be Taylor Swift. Hey, back in the old days, you'd never be able to find out critical information, like who's the most hated person at KCTV5.
That'd be me.
I've watched all the old television shows, and you never see them sitting around watching YouTube videos.
But there is a downside to that.
Yeah, like all the stupid cat videos, and even worse, the goats on a trampoline videos. While today's not perfect, our communications are a lot better than back in the good old days.
Can you imagine your wife and kids going out without a cell phone?
So you can keep your good old days landline rotary phones. I'll take a cell phone with a GPS built in. Number 2, cars.
Cars? You've got to be kidding me.
The old classics are a lot better than today's cars, right?
Well, not when it comes to safety and fuel efficiency.
Hey, I love these old classics.
But the only airbags in these cars were when you had your mother and father-in-law inside the car, acting as backseat drivers.
In fuel efficiency, who needs that when gas is just 19 cents a gallon? And that brings us to number 1, the lack of political correctness.
I know political correctness can drive you crazy, but some things needed to be corrected.
Like racism. It was a pervasive part of American life, playing a key role in the workplace, in schools, and even on the playing field. Hey, those great baseball teams back in the 20s, 30s, and early 1940s, well, guess what? They were all white. Heck, there'd never even been a black middle linebacker in pro football until 1967, when Willie Lanier won the job for the Chiefs. And for millions of Americans, the phrase equal justice under law was just a slogan, not a reality. But we've certainly come a long way, and someday people will look back at 2019 as the good old days. I'm Neil Jones, and that's this week's Top 5.